Hi there, it's Sasha here. Now you may have been instructed by your chiropractor to watch this video because you're experiencing a functional postural issue, something that we refer to as proximal cross syndrome. So this is a functional imbalance between tight muscles and weak muscles in the upper half of your body. Now it's important to keep in mind that these functional aspects of posture are actually built upon the structure of the underlying spine. Okay, so what I've done is I've drawn out a side view of a spine, so you can see the person's facing that way by his nose, and then I've drawn a cross through the upper half of the body. Now we've got a combination of tight muscles and weak muscles. So we've got tight upper traps and levator scapulae, tight pec muscles. We've got weak scapular stabilizing muscles and weak deep neck flexors. So what this posture looks like is the classic rounding forward of the shoulders, internally rotating of the arms, forward head posture and jutting out of the chin. Now this functional issue is a combination of all these aspects, but for this video what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to stretch your tight upper traps and levator scapulae. But before I get into that, I'm just going to run through a little bit of the function and anatomy of these muscles so the stretch can make a little bit more sense to you. So, the upper trap fibres, I'm just going to turn around. So upper trap fibres, they attached on our skull here and part of our neck, and they run down either side and they attach to the upper portion of your shoulder blade. Your levator scap muscle is very similar in its function, but has a sort of slightly different origin and insertion. So again, it attaches up through this region and it comes down either side of your neck and attaches on the inner portion of your shoulder blade muscle. So when these two muscles are tight, what they do is they contribute to that physio shoulder blade, your shoulder blades here. They contribute to that anterior tilting and that raising up of the shoulders, and you get really tight up through here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a really good way how to stretch those muscles out. Okay, so the best way to perform your stretch is in a seated position. So what you need to do, as an example, I'm going to be stretching my left side. So you need to pop your left hand underneath your bottom. This works as an anchor, so to stabilise your arm and your shoulder blade. Now keeping in mind there's two different variations to this one, so a stretch for your upper trap and a stretch for your levator scap muscle. So I'm going to show you your upper trap muscle stretch first. So what you need to do is focus on bringing your opposite ear, so in this case my right ear, to opposite shoulder, in this case my right shoulder. So just gently drop my right ear to my right shoulder. Now you should start to feel a bit of a pull through here, this is upper trap fibres. You may need to have a little bit of a play around just by rotating your head slightly until you feel the stretch. Now if you're still not feeling the stretch, then you might need to add a little bit more of a tension and traction in the muscle. So you just pop your right hand on top of your head, that acts as a little bit extra weight to pull your head down and lengthen the muscle more. If that's still not enough, then you can actually, with this hand, begin to pull down a little bit. Now to modify this for the levator scap muscle, it's quite simple. Instead of bringing the opposite ear to shoulder, what we want to do is point your chin to your armpit. So that looks like this. So dropping your head forward and rolling to your chin is pointing towards your armpit. Now again, you might need to just play with how much roll you add until you feel the stretch. So you should feel the stretch a little bit posterior or behind the stretch you were feeling with your levator scap. So it should be a little bit more on the upper back area. Now again, if you need to add a little bit more weight, just pop your hand on top, not pulling down at the moment. And if that's still not enough, then you need to gently traction downwards. Now what we want to do is we want to find a point where we can feel a gentle stretch in the muscle. When we find that gentle stretch, we want to hold it for 30 seconds. We want to perform it 2 times per day, and we want to do that every day. So it's also important to do it whilst you're warm, so there's a bit of elasticity and oxygen and stretch already in the muscle. So just going over that again, 30-second hold. Once we find the gentle stretch, hold it for 30 seconds, do it twice, and we do it every day and whilst you're warm. Now if you have any difficulty with this, or if you find that it's actually causing a bit of pain and discomfort, then try it again the next time and go a little bit lighter, a little bit easier on the stretch. And if you're still not comfortable with the stretch, or it's still causing a little bit of discomfort or pain, and you're not familiar with performing the stretch, then you need to consult your chiropractor. Thanks for listening.